About 101, 102, August 31st, 2021. This is a special agenda. Commissioners Court, Liberty County, Texas. Let the record show that Commissioner Grabowski are present with us today. Commissioner Wilson is live streaming by way of Zoom. Also, David Douglas is with us from engineering, and Angela Maselli from the auditor's office is also streaming in with us as well. So, number one on the agenda, are there any bills to be paid? And Angela, I know you're there. Y'all got anything we need to worry about between now and the next meeting?
No, we don't have any bills to add.
There's no add-ons.
Table those or?
No, they just take no action on that. Anybody out there? And any budget amendments, Angela?
There are none at this time.
Okay, so no budget amendments. Okay. Take no action on them. Well, that hadn't happened in a long time. Had it? Okay, number three, consider approving a second contract renewal with Apris Incorporated, a participating entity services agreement for the statewide automated victims notification service. And Matthew, this is just a renewal?
Well, I believe so. I
Yeah.
thought we had this on the last.
This is the APRIS. This is the APRIS account that, this is the one that pays the invoice that goes with the savings contract.
Okay.
Okay. So we need to get this.
Make a motion to approve.
All right. Yeah, motion for Bruce. Second, for Greg. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, take it off mute there, Leon. Mute.
Said aye.
Hey, okay. Yeah, you're on mute, so I couldn't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Number four, consider a resolution selecting GrantWorks as the administrator for the 2021 American Rescue Plan Act grant money. And Matthew, we discussed it late, this pretty much. We had a committee that met. And
Yes,
we actually
okay.
formulated some pretty good criteria as far as who gets what. You want to elaborate some more on that?
Well, yeah, so the committee met and we looked at 4 different grant administration companies. And, you know, through a number of different criteria, ranked them all individually and then added up the totals. And it was clear the GrantWorks was the best according, and it is the recommendation of the committee that y'all approved GrantWorks. We have preliminarily discussed with them a rate reduction, negotiated a rate reduction, which they came out with one that was about 3.8%, I believe. My memory is correct on that. And we countered with 3, and then ultimately they came down to 3.4. So this is a 2-step process. We're asking y'all first to approve the resolution selecting them, and then to consider the contract with them for the 3.4% in the next agenda item.
Okay.
That was not included in the thing. Do you have a copy?
Oh, then yes, I do. Yeah, I'll make sure Dee Dee in the court has it. We will review. I mean, not to jump agenda items, but
No.
yeah.
Let's get number 4 taken care of first. Consider approving the resolution selecting GrantWorks.
Angela,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, do you have any issues with this?
No, I was actually on the committee. And so, no, there's no issues.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Bruce, second from Leon to approve GrantWorks as our administrator for the 2021 American Rescue Plan Act grant money. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 5, consider and approve the contract for services for GrantWorks as administrator for the 2021 American Rescue Plan Act grant money. So we're gonna have an opportunity to approve the contract.
Yeah.
Okay,
So this is a very different kind of grant than we're used to. Ordinarily, we spend the money and then apply for reimbursement from the government, from a grant fund. Here, we have at least half of the money in our possession, and then we spend it, and then, you know, more or less make sure that it's kosher with the feds. So since we have the money in hand, we're spending it, this is a little different. And so the contract, and this is how GrantWorks is structuring all of their contracts with a large number of local government entities, is according to milestones. So, you know, for example, the first milestone is to select the projects that we're going to spend this grant money on. And at that point, once everyone, you know, Commissioner's Court, everyone signed off and they selected the projects, then they will have earned their first payment. Okay, and so on and so forth, down through the chain. So the total, and it's actually, I think, a little less than this, is $581,000 due to them. And that's broken up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different milestones, with the really 6 major ones and 1 minor one. So, the contract is fine. It has everything that is required of the contract. There's my only minor concern that I want Commissioner's Court to be aware of, and this concern has nothing to do with GrantWorks itself being a reliable company. I'm not saying that whatsoever, but it is something that you know, I'm paid to say. And that is that there is a limitation of liability in this contract. So that means if for whatever reason the feds come after us and say, oh, no, you shouldn't have spent it on that. The most that we can see contribution from GrantWorks for is the amount that we're paying them under the contract. Okay, this appears to be pretty standard for grant administration contracts, and from what I can tell, even grant administration contracts for these ARPA funds. But it is a concern. Whenever we discussed that in the committee meeting with GrantWorks, they said they have never had an issue. And never had a clawback. So there is some comfort there, but it is at least a hypothetical risk.
Yeah. So the monkey's on their back. They lose everything that they're going to be paid.
That's right.
Wrong.
That's right.
That would,
But we would stand to lose even more than.
This is on the first of the 8 million.
Yeah, well, this would govern all.
Okay, the whole entire
The
deal,
whole-
even though.
yes.
So
So
motion to approve.
yeah, motion, Bruce. Second, Greg, to approve. All in favor, say aye.
After you,
yes, sir.
how you feeling about that?
I wanted y'all to be aware of it because it is a risk. But, you know, like I said, I don't think, I'm very impressed with GrantWorks' size, their reliability. I mean, and they've been around a while. I think it's a business risk, just like I suppose any other, but I don't think it would be unreasonable in any way to take it. I'll say this also, in order to kind of see if that is true, that they've never had any clawback issues, I look for any litigation concerning GrantWorks. I've been able to find no litigation whatsoever, even at the district court level. Could have missed something, you know, might not have been in the search engine, but I have not been able to see anything, nor any rumor of it in my research. So I am comfortable with it personally. I don't see a problem with it, but I did want y'all to be aware of it, just because whenever we're selecting these projects, the most that we're going to be able to get back from GrantWorks if things go south is $500,000. Almost $600,000, but we would be exposed up to $17 million. So we need to really be sure whenever it comes time to project selection that we're dotting our I's, crossing our T's.
And that's what we're paying them for.
That's right. That's exactly right.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Likewise, nay. That motion carries unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 6. Ms. Harris, consider to approve the renegotiated depository contract between Liberty County and Prosperity Bank.
I think we're gonna move into executive session.
All right, we need to move into executive session. I need to
Make a motion to move into executive session.
1:33 PM. Out of executive session back into regular session where we met in executive session, received advice of counsel. According to Texas Government Code Section 551.0725 regarding the renegotiation terms of the current depository contract between Liberty County and Prosperity Bank pursuant to Texas Local Government Code Section 116.021B. So at the end of our executive session, Matthew, is there anything that you would like to, or Catherine, to explain in this, and then we need to go into a motion?
Yes, yeah, I'll have Catherine, she's taken point on this, but she could recommend some language for the motion.
Great.
Judge, based on, yes, based on, the current contract and a letter from Prosperity Bank, we would recommend that the county, that the court approve the renegotiations, with Prosperity Bank, where all terms stay the same with the exception of the 2 special accounts, including the 2020 CO money, as well as the COVID money that was talked about earlier in the court today, to yield an interest rate of, let's see. Oh, based on the letter of July 20th, 2021. And I would further recommend that the court in writing tender a counter offer to Prosperity Bank with these terms as soon as today.
Leon, did you catch all that? All right, need a motion and a second to write the letter about the renegotiation in the terms of.
Make a motion to have Matthew and Catherine renegotiate or to accept and send a letter to Prosperity on the agreed upon terms that we have come up with.
Got a motion? Got a second, Leon. All right, all in favor say aye. Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, Jim.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn from Bruce.